Cyberpunk 2077. Is it worth a buy? Well, let's watch the bugs of the game. Cyberpunk 2077 is an open-world action-adventure story set in Night City. A megalopolis obsessed with power, glamour, and bugs. And body modifications. You play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after the bugs. Going after the one-of-a-kind bugs. There's more than one of a kind. Going after the one-of-a-kind implant that is the key to immortality. Sorry, guys. I'm obsessed with bugs. I don't know why.
First up, guys, I was given a review key for this, but it came a day after the game had already released and I'd already acquired a game key by then, so yeah, thanks for the afterthought, Let's start with the options, and can I just say, first up, you can't rebind all your keys. The F key is the use key, and it is hard-coded to be the use key. Why? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. Most people were sad with the E key to use, but CD Projekt Red thought, I know, let's make it the fucking F key, and let's make it so you can't change it as well. Graphically, there's loads of graphical options, thank goodness, because when the game first booted up, it looked absolutely garbage, as you can see here. And this is with everything on pretty much ultra. I was just like, what the hell is this shit? But I went in and I tweaked and twiddled, and then I got the graphics looking like this, which is way better. In fact, the character models are fantastic. For the main lead character models, they are just jaw-dropping. Some of the best graphics I've ever seen in a game. Absolutely amazing. The world itself looks decent, especially from a distance. It's nice. The graphics overall are nice. I didn't really have any really complaints about them. I heard that it runs awful and looks awful on a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One. It's clearly a next-gen game, this. I'm running an i9 9900 3.6 gig, 32 gig of RAM and an RTX 2080, and I'm pushing about 50 frames a second with frame drops. Sometimes it goes slightly over 60 to maybe 65, 66, and then it'll do a frame drop again, so it's not brilliantly optimized. Story-wise, I really enjoyed the main story. I thought it was good. The writing's good. The character development's excellent. I thought the characters you can get really into. Well, literally you can with some of them. But I got really attached to some of them, and do you know what? The side quests are great as well. Not all of them, but most of the side quests are really good. You get the rinse and repeat monotonous ones. Of course, you've got to have that because you need to level up. It's like an RPG. It isn't an RPG. I'll come to that in a second, but it's like an RPG. And the characters are just great, especially in the side quests. You get to know them, you get to know their backstory, there's loads and loads of writing, you get to know what they're thinking, you can have relationships with a lot of them. It's just a really, really cool, it is kind of like a role-playing game, essentially. And all that bit in the game is really excellent. Combat-wise, well, this is where it starts to go downhill. The AI, even on hard, which is what I played most of the game on, is not that great. Constantly jumping out of cover. Sometimes it'll sit in cover with an arm sticking out so you can just pummel it. Sometimes they just don't even want to fight you at all. They just stand there looking at you as if you're invisible or something. It's kind of crazy. The cover system's great. I really enjoy the cover system. You go up to it, you press crouch next to like a wall or a blockade or something, and then if you hold your right mouse button down, you just peep over the top. Absolutely fantastic. Why don't all games do this? I just don't know. It's really, really good. The gun sounds are great as well. Really meaty, really make you stick your lips out when you're firing the guns. And there's a lot of different types of guns. There's the usual classes of guns, you know, your shotguns, your assault submachine guns, your sniper rifles, pistols, swords, vibrators, you know, the usual stuff that you have in games. I mean, guys, my best melee weapon was a fucking vibrator. And as you can see here, yes, it's funny if you're 14 years old. Actually, that's a bit grumpy, Mac. It is funny flailing this thing around as it buzzes, but why? Why is that more powerful than my katana? I mean, fuck off, please. To me, they shouldn't have put this in the game because it's just bollocks. Why can't we have serious good games anymore? Why do they have to do this? It's like the move, Mac, just shut up. The world looks really good. It really does look good, the world, from a distance especially. It looks like a busy metropolis, but unfortunately it's all smoke and mirrors. It seems like the game world is false and fake. There's not a lot to do. There's the usual bunch of shops and loads of other shops that are shut. Some that are shut that looked like they were supposed to be open, but at the last minute they've just shut them. I don't get that. But it is a bit of a shame that the world is such a non-interactive show that just kind of plays out before you. The progression system in the game I really do like. There's loads of ways you can progress. You have a leveling, obviously your XP and your level up. And by the way, the enemies don't scale with you. There's different areas of the map have different level enemies. So if you grind and level up, you can out-level an area so that what missions used to be high risk are now low risk. Whether you like that or not, that's up to you, but that's the way this game is. But back to the progression system, you do level up with XP. You have a crafting system that also levels up, and you can put different clothes on your character that have different stats on them. The usual RPG colours, you know, blue, rare, purple, epic, orange, legendary, that kind of stuff. And you can mod a lot of the stuff, your weapons and your clothes, and you can craft them as well. You can craft some fantastic stuff if you level up crafting. Now, to do all this, there's more progression in your actual perk system. Now, your perk system is split into different groups, such as your body, your tech levels and things like that, because there's hacking and all of that kind of stuff. And so you put all your points into whatever you want, and this is where I f***ed up my build completely, because you don't get enough perk points to spec them all out, so you've got to kind of go for a specific build. And obviously, going into the game blind, I didn't know what to do, so I tried to be a jack of all trades, and I ended up being a fucking useless twat at all of them. You need way more perk points, in my opinion, way more. You've also got cybernetic implants where you go to a RIP dock or whatever it's called in the game, and they can put these excellent upgrades into you, such as double jump, high jump, running faster, carrying more stuff because there's a weight penalty as you carry stuff in your bags. Different things like where you can do quick hacks on people, because everybody has these implants, and you can cause somebody to totally turn on their own kind and be your ally, which is really cool. You can get people to explode, you can get people to be rooted to the spot simply by hacking with a little kind of numbers mini game where you have to follow a sequence. It's pretty easy. Driving around the world, because it's quite a big world, you've got motorbikes, you've got cars, all kinds of stuff. You can call them in quickly, you can buy new ones. You can't upgrade or customize them, which is a shame, and the driving is absolutely atrocious. It's not very good at all, guys, but it very rarely is on a keyboard. But this is one of the worst that I've come across. Yeah, not too good, not too good. But guys, the big problem with this game is the bugs.
Sweet dreams, then.
They are just far too numerous to even begin to tell you now. That there's just so many of them. Every mission almost has a bug in it, and it rips the immersion from this game, because this game could be one of the most immersive games I've ever played. But then all of a sudden things start to go wrong. You'll be sitting in an important meeting, and the woman just starts skating around the floor in a chair. I mean, one of the worst bugs I had was the very end, a very emotional scene at the very end of the game, where the camera for once actually came away from me and showed me to myself, because it's a first person game, but the camera pulled away to show the expression on my face at this really emotional moment. And the image that it showed me looked like someone had took a flamethrower to my face and burnt all my hair off and just scarred me face for life. I was like, who the fuck's that? That's supposed to be me. I mean, just to give you an idea, this is what I should look like. I mean, you can see, and it just ruined it. It just ruined the moment, and that kind of stuff happens literally all the time, guys. I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of bugs. I'll just play that. I've been catapulted thousands of feet in the air. My crime was getting into the car. Another one, getting out of the car. I got catapulted below the ground. I've had just people just crashing cars randomly all over the place. Guys, I don't even want to mention them all. They're catalogued all over the internet. And unfortunately, 8 million people pre-ordered this game, guys. And they've been let down, every single one of them. This is a disgrace. Absolute. From what people laud as the best game company ever. Well, I'm sorry. Now, I think this has done significant damage to their reputation. And it goes without saying, guys, this is what happens when you pre-order games. Stop pre-ordering games. Because once you give these people the money, it seems they don't give a fuck about you. Because let's be honest, if they give a fuck about their customers. There is no way this game would be released like this. No fucking way on earth. Hey, just no. And I'm not blaming the shareholders here. I'm blaming CD Projekt Red. The buck stops with them. They released this game in this absolute shit state, guys. But it's not just bugs, guys. It's bad decisions. There's bullet sponging enemies. You get far too many guns just picking up off the floor after each mission. It's just an overload of freaking loot. It's worse than the Division 2 for loot. You've got really bad, crazy damage when you're on a motorbike, you know, and you've got a car trying to kill you. It's comical, guys. Absolutely comical. NPC driving looks like it's some kind of 1920s movie with a projected image when they turn corners. It's just crazy. And coming back to immersion again, I mean, half the time when you're doing a quest, you might be doing some important line and then the phone just keeps ringing. All these NPCs ringing you up all the time about jobs here, jobs there. It's just awful. Breaks immersion, ruins it. And then you've got the actual story choices that you make in the game. I mean, half of them are just bullshit. You think you're making a choice, but you're not. You're always railroaded down into what you feel like you just don't have a choice. There's like a mission where this one of the women who I was friendly with said, "Are you going to come on this plan that I've got?" And I says, no way, it's not for me. So I clicked that, and then the very next thing that I had to do was go on the mission. I mean, what the f***? And then she says, "I thought you'd come," and I thought, yeah, f*** off. It's such a damn shame because, guys, this game could have been fantastic. It's still enjoyable. But I've got some advice for you. If you haven't bought the game, don't buy it. Literally don't buy it. And if you do have the game but haven't started to play it yet, don't play it. Just don't. Give it about 6 months, maybe it's even a year. Then play the game. And if you haven't bought the game then, buy it. Because it is definitely worth playing. And if the AI was better, if the bugs was fixed, if the physics was fixed, if the world was a little bit more alive and not so hollow and shallow, and they fixed the role-playing aspects, such as, you know, not being able to loot in front of everybody without consequences and not being railroaded into decisions. You know, I noticed they've took the tag role-playing out of the words of the description. It's now just like a story-based game. But if they fixed all that, then this game would have been fantastic. I don't know, I'd have probably given it 9.5 out of 10 because it would have deserved it. It would have been Game of the Year on my channel, no question about that. It would have been the best game I've played for years, really, if all of them things had been fixed. I'm not talking about just the bugs, I'm talking about all the other stuff, the AI, everything I just mentioned. But I can only review what's in front of me and what I've played, and my score will reflect that. Can I just end by saying that I'm not angry, I'm just extremely sad. I really am. I'm angry, but I'm more sad. That's why I'm not ranting and throwing bells around the room. I'm sad because I came that close to getting a fantastically brilliant game. And I've ended up with this. Do you know who I really blame? I blame the gamers. They must take a huge share of the responsibility along with CD Projekt Red for hyping this thing up so much on the forums, on the internet, in videos, for defending everything, for the 8 million people that pre-ordered the damn thing, stop pre-ordering your games, and for the people even now, after seeing the shit show that this is, still defending it. As long as people are doing that, games are gonna fucking suck.
I won't buy anything from you.
Not be held liable for the safety and well-being of its passengers. Ride at your own risk.